The moment my eyes fluttered open, the world was a blurry mess of white ceilings and muted beeps. They told me been in a coma for 6 months after a nasty car accident. 6 months. My first coherent thought wasn't about my health, or the accident, or even the throbbing in my head. It was about her. Sarah. My girlfriend of 5 years. I asked for her, my voice raspy and weak. The nurse gave me a look filled with pity. She hasn't been here for a while, honey, she said softly. That didn't make sense. Sarah was my world. She'd have been by my side, holding my hand. Right, my parents, bless their hearts, just exchanged a nervous glance. Let's focus on your recovery first, son, my dad said. A little too quickly. Something was wrong. Deeply wrong. As my body started to heal, my mind sharpened, and I started piecing together the fragmented reality. My best friend, Mark, finally broke the silence. He looked uncomfortable, shifting his weight from foot to foot. Dude, he started, I don't know how to tell you this, but Sarah's been seeing someone. The words hit me harder than the semi-truck that put me in this bed. Seeing someone? What do you mean? I asked, a cold dread creeping into my veins. Mark sighed, running a hand through his hair. Not just seeing someone. She's been with him since about a month after your accident. It's my cousin, Liam. Liam, the guy I'd always thought was a bit of a snake. The one Sarah swore she barely knew. The pieces clicked into place with a sickening thud. The pitying looks. My parents. Evasiveness. Her absence, it all made a horrifying kind of sense. She didn't just move on. She slithered away while I was helpless, unconscious, fighting for my life. The anger was a fire that burned through the haze of medication. It was a clean, pure rage that gave me a new kind of strength. I spent the next few weeks in physical therapy, pushing myself harder than ever. Every painful stretch, every grueling step, was fueled by a single thought. Revenge. Not a petty, destructive revenge, but a cold, calculated reclamation of my life. You see, before the accident, Sarah and I had built a life together. Or rather, I had built a life, and she had decorated it. My successful software company funded our lifestyle. The beautiful condo downtown, the luxury cars, the endless shopping sprees, all of it was in my name. But she enjoyed it as if it were her own. We'd even started a joint savings account for a house, an account I had generously funded. When I was finally discharged from the hospital, I went home. To my home. I walked into the condo and it was like a ghost of our life together. Her things were still there, but it felt hollow. That's when I noticed the bank statements on the kitchen counter. My heart pounded as I picked one up. It was the joint savings account, and it was nearly empty. Thousands of dollars. Gone. There were withdrawals for designer bags, lavish dinners, and even a down payment for a lease on a new sports car. A car for Liam. She had been systematically draining our future to fund her new life while I lay in a coma. The betrayal was so profound, it almost buckled my knees. She didn't just cheat on me, Sarah bed me. That was the moment the switch flipped. The hurt vanished, replaced by an icy resolve. This wasn't about a broken heart anymore. This was about justice. I was a software guy, a man of logic and details, and I was about to apply that logic to dismantling her world. First, I called my lawyer. I explained the situation, the coma, the unauthorized withdrawals. Since the joint account was funded entirely by my income, and the withdrawals were made while I was legally incapacitated, we had a very strong case. We immediately froze the account and began legal proceedings to recover every single cent. Next, I changed the locks on the condo. It was my property, bought and paid for long before she moved in. I packed up every last one of her belongings, the clothes, the shoes, the ridiculous collection of scented candles, and put them in storage. I sent her a simple, unemotional text. Your belongings are in storage unit. 2B, here is the address. The first month is paid. After that, it's your responsibility. Do not contact me again. Then came the call. Her number flashed on my phone, and for a second, my heart wavered, but I answered, putting it on speaker. "What did you do?" she shrieked, her voice a mix of panic and outrage. "My key doesn't work. My credit card was declined. The joint account is frozen." I let her rant, my silence fueling her fury. When she finally paused for breath, I spoke, my voice calm and steady. "The condo is mine, Sarah. The money was mine. You made your choice while I was lying in a hospital bed. Now you get to live with the consequences of that choice." But we were building a life together." She sputtered. "No," I replied, the word as cold as ice. "I was building a life, and you were just a guest who overstayed her welcome and then tried to steal the silverware on her way out. You weren't just cheating on me, Sarah. You were stealing from a man in a coma. What kind of person does that?" There was a long silence on the other end, broken only by her shaky breath. I could hear Liam's voice in the background, asking what was wrong. The irony was almost laughable. The man she left me for was now getting a front row seat to the collapse of the lifestyle she had promised Tima. Lifestyle funded by me. "You can't do this," she finally whispered, her voice cracking. "I already have," I said, and then I hung up. I blocked her number, blocked her on every social media platform. I cut her out of my life as cleanly and efficiently as a surgeon. The legal battle was short and decisive. The evidence was overwhelming. The bank records, my medical records proving my state of incapacitation. It was an open and shut case. The court ordered her to repay every dollar she had taken. Of course, she didn't have it. She and Liam had already spent most of it. This led to our assets being garnished, including the fancy new car. I heard through the grapevine that Liam didn't stick around once the money dried up. Shocking, I know. Last I heard, she had to move back in with her parents, drowning in debt and facing the fallout of her own greed. As for me, getting the money back was satisfying, sure, but the real victory was getting my life back. I sold the condo, erasing the last physical reminder of her. I focused on my company, which thrived more than ever. I reconnected with friends and family, the people who actually stood by me. The accident almost ended my life, but in a strange way, it also saved me. It revealed the truth of the person I was with and gave me a chance to start over, free from the weight of her deception. I learned a hard lesson. Sometimes the worst betrayals can lead to the best kind of freedom. And let me tell you, that freedom is worth more than any amount of money. Thank you for listening to my story. If you've ever been through something similar, know that you're not alone and that you have the strength to rebuild. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more content. See you next time.